This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so today we are going to learn one of the new service which is the very important elastic beanstalk automation service. Okay, so let's come to this elastic beanstalk. This is the Amazon Elastic Beanstalk service, end-to-end web application management you can do. Amazon Elastic Beanstalk is an easy-to-use service for deploying and scaling web application and services developed with the Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby, Go, and Docker on the familiar servers such as the Apache, Nginx, Passenger, and IIS. Very simple definitions. Basically, it is the web application management service. See, suppose that you have the application which is developed by your team. You want to host that applications. You want to create the environment. Generally, what happen in the company, there is a environment team is creating the environment, creating the profile, and then like DevOps team deploying the applications, okay, and providing the customer. But Amazon Elastic Beanstalk service, even though you are the layman, you are the 10th class student also, then also you can do the work in the AWS cloud and you can launch your applications. You can host your any kind of the war file. War file means web archive file. It is the bundled file. You can deploy that, okay, and you can provide the services to the customer, okay. The Amazon Elastic Beanstalk service, okay, it also you can use the static application as well as the web application enterprise. Okay, you can run the banking products, e-commerce product, insurance product with the like security, with the load balancer, with the auto scaling, and complete troubleshooting management. Okay, that is the weightage, and it supports the multiple technologies. So your application is developed any kind of the like technologies like Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby. Okay, it supports for all. Okay, it's a kind of a automations. Generally, you no need to create a environment, you no need to create a server, you no need to do the auto scaling, load balancer, everything this service will do, because in the back end the API already Amazon team is developed. So you just give the detail what you want to launch and deploy. Based on that your application will host, everything will be created, everything will be created, even though your endpoints also will be created. Okay, and any point of the time you can do the management, you can do the changes, you can do the edits. Okay, you can connect the database. Okay, you can launch your backend APIs, Amazon Elastic Beanstalk service. Okay, so basically we can say it is the deployment management service. Complete application management you can do by this Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. One more thing, guys, the service which we are doing. Okay, after some time Amazon is doing keep on updates some changes in the UI. Always remember, so don't take any kind of the means tension. Okay, the concept always will be the same, just UI parameter some here and there. Okay, so you need to follow the same trend, whatever you want to do. Okay, that's how you need to do. And Amazon Elastic Beanstalk also ensure your security of your applications. It will do all kind of the security configurations. So that's how the weightage of the Amazon Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, so here just what you need to do, you need to deploy your code whatever you developed, and Amazon Elastic Beanstalk will take care in the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, you just give the Amazon Elastic Beanstalk informations. So inside the environment whatever the servers are there, you can assume like it is your production server and it will take care of everything. Okay, it has all the feature. Basically Amazon Elastic Beanstalk you can uh, feel like it is a core engine. Okay, core engine means you just give some inputs for a software to launch as a commercial. What are the surveys, what are the configuration, what are the parameters are needed, elastic beanstalk will do. Okay, so like there are the benefit, easy to get started, complete resource control, you have fully managed automatic application health monitoring. Okay, and there is a documentations. Guys, now onwards make a habit, the documentations. See, you no need to like memorize anything, just at least see which page what the information it is. When the any SRS document will come to you, SRS document means software requirement sheet will come to you, you should know, okay, where I supposed to go. Okay, so if you see here, like how to start the elastic beanstalk. So we are creating the account, how to deploy, clean up accounts, all these informations based on this, it's there. Whenever you are working in the company, suppose that you need to some CLI informations like command line interface. So for the command line interface, this is the informations. I will also give you some like exercise for that. Okay, but as if now I am telling you, so command line interface that is available, you can use it. Okay, now there is the tutorials and samples. So like Ruby Rails, so various scripts are there in the various technologies you can use. Okay, now there is like your elastic beanstalk documentations. Okay, and this is the like FAQs. So if you do the practices, so many questions already got cleared. Okay, so if it's still you are looking some questions, you can check it here. Now let's come to this elastic beanstalk. We can go and create the applications. Click on this, create the applications. So there is two types of the environments. Okay, elastic beanstalk has two types of the environment tiers. Okay, one is the web applications. Web application is work for the website, web applications, web APIs, HTTP request. Basically, you need to deal with this. Okay, another is a worker environment. Worker environment basically like long running workloads or on demands, which is or any kind of the task or scheduler. Okay, those kind of the task if you need to perform, you can go with the worker environments. Okay, so mostly we are using the web server environment. So elastic beanstalk service we are using related to the web applications. Okay, whichever you want to use. Suppose that the application which you created by the React.js, AngularJS, backend there is a APIs are there. You can use this web server environment. Okay, now go to the application name. We can go here, Virajitech jobs USA. Now this is your application name. Then once you define based on that, like your environment also is created. Environment name. Now by default, Elastic Beanstalk provide you the one endpoints, one URL, that is the free domain we can say. Domain will be always will be the unique. Okay, so the domain will be .us-east-1.elasticbeanstalk.com. So it is the free domain, so you can utilize. Later on you can replace your own domain which you purchased from the Route 53 service. Okay, now environment descriptions. Here you can provide the complete descriptions regarding your projects. Okay, now we can go to the managed platform. So managed platform, which platform your application is supposed to launch. Okay, .NET, Docker, Java, Node.js, PHP, Python, Ruby, Tomcat. So Tomcat is a web server. You can use the web application anything related to the So anything related to the web application, you can use the Tomcat. Tomcat is a web server, Apache Tomcat. It is the open server. Okay, free to use. Okay, open source. We should not buy the licensing for the Tomcat. Okay, so most of the company they are using Tomcat web server. So there are the some other server like a WebLogic server. Okay, and means different. But like most of the companies, 99% companies are supporting to the Tomcat. Okay, so any kind of the web application, you can launch in the Tomcat. Okay, so what is happening? We can select here Tomcat. So there is the Tomcat. Various versions are there. 8.5. Okay. So similar way 9, 11, 10. So whichever version is working in your company, you can use that. Platform version 4.3.7. You select it. Now we are talking about the code, application code. Suppose that you have the application code, you can use that. If you don't have a code and you want to launch your application, you can use the sample applications. You can use the sample code. Okay, sample code you can use. So there is a sample applications because you don't have the code. If you want to develop the code, you can like use your own code and upload your own code. Okay, what do you need to do? You can go here, you can define the URL which is inside your bucket. You can provide or local file. So from your system, the code which is available, that you can provide. That is like a .war file, .zip file, gz file. Okay, those things. As if now suppose that you don't have a code, you just want to do the practice, go to the sample applications. Okay, now there is a like preset. You want like single instance, free tier eligible single instances, high availability using the spot on demand instances custom. So now in your environment, so this is the newly they added the feature called presets. Okay, so they are like asking you which server you are basically want. Okay, which EC2 instance you want, single instance, high availability. Okay, so here suppose that you are selecting the high availability, you can use that. Single instance you can use that. Go to this next. Now what is happening here, like service access. So we need to provide the service access like elastic beanstalk service will access some other service. So one service trying to access some other service, so we need to enable the IAM rule. Okay, one service can access to the another service, so we needed the IAM rule. Okay, so what we are going to use, like use an existing service role. Okay, or you can create a new service role if you don't have. So let's select the create and new service role that you are going to use. So you can use your permission detail. So this is your permissions, like you are taking the permissions like Elastic Beanstalk Help, instances, auto scaling, okay, notification. So these are the service you needed. Okay, so these are the details you have. Got it? So roles why it is needed, so that one service can access to the another service. So now EC2 key pair. So suppose that you don't have a key pair, you need to create. And similar way, you need to provide like EC2 instance profile. Okay. So now what we need to do, we can go here and we want to create the EC2 key pair. As if now you don't have a key pair, you copy this and go to the another tab. Okay, and now what we are going to do, go to the EC2, click on this EC2. Here we can see the key pair. Go here, key pair. You can see here also you can get that options key pair. Click on this create key pair. Give the key pair name. We can say brass tech USA key pair type RSA dot PEM file, create key pair. So now we can create the key pair PAM file. It is the cryptographic file. We should not something like a modify this file, otherwise this key will be corrupted. Then you cannot able to log in your okay. So open with notepad always. So now you can see this is the cryptographic file, which is basically using for the security concern, so that should not be any data loss will be happen, and our data also will be secure. Okay, we need to put it in the safer place. Once you have a key pair, now go to this elastic beanstalk, refresh this. So little UI changes already happen in the elastic beanstalk. So somebody was my old students, so they can also take this update. Now we selected this key pair. Now another is EC2 instance profile. So we need to choose an IAM instance profile with managed policy, allow the EC2 instance to perform the required operations. That is we needed. Okay. Like see, Elastic Beanstalk will create the EC2. EC2 will do some changes. So you need to add that permission. So what is that permission is? See, EC2 will be the trust entity. Try to understand, guys. See, whenever you are unable to create any kind of the configuration, and there you are getting the failure regarding the permission, where you need to identify, you need to check the roles. You need to, is there roles is available for that, for the trust entity. So this is the trust entity. This entity want to access some other services, so it has the access or not. So now you can see AWS Elastic Beanstalk Web tier. Okay, this is for worker tier, and this is for multi-container Docker. Okay, so what do you need to do? See here, bucket access, X-ray access, CloudWatch access, health access. Got it? So copy this. Earlier, see whoever my old students earlier, okay, like these was the steps not there. We can automatically create it, but now they update it. Amazon team update it. Okay, so let it be the update. Now this is your policy, and this is your trusted entity, EC2. So what is happening? If you go this IAM console, so they will give you the guide if they will did any changes. So in the identity and access management, we need to create. Okay, so we go to this identity and access management, go and create the roles. So now create the role can be created with the internal AWS services, two different account. There you need to ensure the accessibility. So you can choose the account if two different accounts. Otherwise, if internally, then AWS service. Now EC2 will be the trust entity that you selected. Go to this next. Okay. Before that, let's create the policy, permission policies. So this is, you can see custom policies. Okay. So I want to create the policy, create the policy. So here, like, if you know what are the parameters you want, you can take it up. If you don't know, okay, already we have a JSON. You can add the permissions, which service you are going to select, all those things you can do that. As if now already I have a script. Okay, so what I'm going to do, remove this, take this, copy, control C, control A, and put it in the, okay, you added, you can see here everything will come, correct? Once you done this, go to this next, see, S3 X-ray, CloudWatch, Elastic Beanstalk, EC2 has all the rights, it's got it. So now EC2, we can give the name. EC2 means Elastic Computing Cloud instance. We have to give the smaller letters. EC2 hyphen instance profile role. Okay. Give this create policy. Oh, sorry, I gave the wrong name. View policy. We can go add it. Name can be added. Added. Okay, let it be attached policy version. So this is the policy version. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this or permission, add it. Is there any? Okay, we can go to the next. Okay, okay. We gave, so you can mention like profile policy. Basically, we can say, okay. Otherwise, I can delete this. Or I will try to define the tag and then we'll change. Go to this name, profile role policy. Just to avoid the confusion only. Tag is there, but okay. What I'm going to do, delete. Delete something which you don't want, delete it. Create policy, JSN. Already we have the JSN script, we already copied. Control A, Control C, Control A, delete, put it this. See, it should become like this. Okay, go to this next. Now see, S3 X-ray Cloud Watch, Elastic Beanstalk. These three axes want your Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, so give the policy name EC2 instance profile policy. Go to this create policy. You created the policy. Now go to this role, create role. This is the EC2 trust entity. Now you can select here the policies. So EC2 instance profile policy, we need to select this. Go to this next. We can get this profile role. Create role. So now what is happening? EC2 instance profile role is created. Then we can go to this elastic beanstalk, refresh. Now you can see EC2 instance profile role. Okay, you need to select this role, EC2 instance profile role. Now go to this next. Here, like, see, always remember your, it should be under some environment, it should be under some networking. Okay, so we can select the default virtual private cloud. If you are working some project, so give the project related virtual private cloud, don't use the default virtual private cloud. Whatever we will create in the AWS cloud, always it should be under the virtual private cloud. Okay, if you create the open practice point of view, it is fine, but the production environment or company point of view, it's like a violation of the policies. So we should not do that. Always we need to create inside the virtual private cloud. As if now I am using the default VPC. Okay, if you want to add custom VPC, you can add that. Now instance settings. So in your, so you are creating one environment, there is a server, it should be under the virtual private cloud. Inside the virtual private cloud, the subnet, and so enable the public IP address activated so that you will get the public IP address, and like which ability zones. Okay, you can select a specific or where you want to keep your environment, you can keep that. Okay, so suppose that you want to keep just 1A, you can keep 1A. There you want to put it your environment and your server. Now database. So if it is a dynamic applications, you can enable the database. Okay, so you have the RDS, relational database service, you can attach, so your application will support the database. So here you can define the database engine, which engine you are going to use, like MySQL, an instance class, storage, username, password, you can give. So what will happen with your application, the database also attached. Okay, and database subnet. Earlier these steps were not there in the AWS. This is the recent update. Again I am repeating this. Okay, so here itself what you can do, that you can attach the database. Suppose that you can give the parameter like, okay, root users, then root 1234, ability zones, high ability zones or one zone you can define. Then the subnet, you can define subnet, you want to keep, suppose that 1B, you can give the 1B. Now database deletion policy. So like create the snapshots, retain. Okay, you can do that. Otherwise delete it. As if now it is the like a static template, so not required to database. Once you have the like a dynamic applications, web application, then only give the database. Otherwise, uncheck this. Okay, not required this all. See, there are the some UI bug. See what is happening again and again. Okay, so let it be go to the previous. It's some UI bug actually. We can go to this previous. Go to the previous. Then going to the forward. Okay. So we selected the BPC IP address. Now I don't want the database. Uncheck this all options. Okay. Uncheck this database options. Okay. Now we can proceed the next. Okay. Now root volume. So root volume, it is kind of a like we can say hard disk. Okay, what you want to attach like magnetic, journal purpose SSD, or 3 SSD, or input output per second, provision IOPS, which one? Okay, let's take the journal purpose SSD. Root volume, you can put it the size based on your need. Then instance metadata service IMDS. Okay, now we are talking about the security group. So security group to ensure the security of your environment. So you can use the default or letter you want to give. It's up to us. Suppose that like we can use like a default securities. You can use the default. If you don't want to use that, also fine. You cannot. Okay, no problem. You can attach letter. Now capacity, like you are adding the auto scaling. Auto scaling means whenever the load will be high. Suppose that and the same at the same instance, same time 10,000 requests are coming to the server. It consume your entire CPU processing unit. It consume your RAM. Then your site got hanged. So you want the high availability. So always you are using the load balancer and auto scaling. Load balancer, what it will do, it will balancing the load, divide the load to the multiple server. Auto scaling, what it will do, auto scaling, like suppose that uh, even though your load is dividing by the load balancer, still the CPU usage is very high, more than 70%, 75%. Then auto scaling will keep on adding the new server to divide the load, and CPU low means CPU count will be the make it as a low. Not only the CPU parameter, there is a multiple parameter where you can enable the auto scaling, like input output per seconds, or your number of the request count. So you can select what are the parameters. So now we can see the load balancer, or you want to do the single instance, then use the single instance, so then one single instance will come. So there is a load balance. So number of the instance, okay, single instance, it will take the minimum is the one, maximum will be the one. If load balancer environment, you can go the load balancer. So suppose that this is like a toggling. Okay, so if you want one instance as a minimum, so minimum always will be the one, and maximum you want 10 servers. Whenever the load will be high, keep on appending 10. Appending 10 means first it will add one. If load is balanced, fine. If not balanced, then again one more add, again one more add. So you gave the limit, up to 10 only I can handle, I can pay the bill. Okay, so you have to set some limit. This is my budget, up to 3. Okay, so it will balance the load. Then fleet compositions is like it's kind of a plan of your machines. Okay, so on demand instances. Then architecture, so your application is supported, architecture is 80 x86 64 bit, you can use that. Now instance type, so T3 micro, T3 small, you can choose whichever you want. So there is the various other options also is available. Based on your application, you can choose like a large and all. Okay, then Amazon Machine Image ID. AMI ID means Amazon Machine Image ID. Basically, it's kind of your, we can say, machine image. It's kind of your operating system. So in that operating system, what are the predefined softwares also will be pre-installed. Okay. So as if now AMI ID you are using this, then scaling trigger. So basically, at what basis you want your auto scaling will supposed to be happen. Okay. Then what we are going to do, network input, CPU utilization, these are the parameter, disk read writes, okay, latency, request count. So these are the parameters. Suppose that you define the CPU utilizations. I want CPU utilizations minimum, maximums. Okay, so we can define, suppose that average or maximum. Okay, then units, byte count, count per seconds, percent. Suppose that you choose as a percent. Then period, 5 minute period or 2 minutes period, it's up to you. Breach duration, 2 minutes, suppose upper threshold. Okay, so you defined upper threshold, whatever it will be, like we can say percent. Okay, so we can say 75. Okay, so you define, then scale up whenever the lower threshold capacity. Okay, so 35%. Okay, so here you can put it like average. So according that your auto scaling will work. Scale down, increment -1. Now you understood the auto scaling, why it is. Okay, so you define this. Now visibility public, load balancer, where you want to create the subnet 1A, load balancer type, so application load balancer or network load balancer. So nowadays in the market, application load balancer is using, higher level configuration will be the network load balancer. Okay, so you can see, suppose that you can select the application load balancer, then dedicated, so port number 80. Okay, if network load balancer, it is something like a Ferrari, we can say. So ultra high performance and static IP address, the charges will be high. Okay, then listener, you are using this port 80. Okay, then like you can go to this next. So okay, that is the size 10. Go to this next. Now health reporting. So like basic or enhanced you can do. You want to add the cloud watch, so you can add the cloud watch matrices so that for your production logs can be monitored. Okay, then health monitoring rule customizations, you can do that. You can enable it. You want to apply, you can apply. And retention period is 7 days. Okay, as if now we are not taking anything. Manage platform update, so every Sunday, suppose that you want, okay, every Sunday auto update will happen, patches and all. Okay, email notification, something process is going to happen, then who is supposed to get the email? info@virajitech.com, so you can give your email ID and all, so you can get that updates. Rolling updates. Okay, so the for the rollback purpose, configuration updates, so you can define the parameter whichever you want. Then platform softwares, proxy server, nginx is a proxy server which will protect your actual server from the unauthorized request. Okay, so then Amazon X-ray, you want to enable the S3 log storage, you can enable it. Okay, and any environment properties you can add that. Go to this next. So now you can see you selected these are the parameter, any point of the time you can edit it. So now you can see complete application management, everything you can do, and just click on submit. If you done the submit, then everything will created by this. Okay, so already role is exist, elastic AWS elastic beanstalk service role exist. Okay, so we can go to the previous. Go to the previous. Go to the previous. Previous. Okay, so use the existing role. Okay, here we change that. Now go to this next. Go to this next. See all are the, or we can directly go to the skip to review. See, even the very first step also you can ignore each and every all these steps and directly come to the review also you can do. And later on also you can add the configuration. That also you can do that. Okay, submit. So now what is happening? You can see Virajitech jobs USA environment is going to create. Okay, this is your domain. This is your applications. You can change the version. Here you have the actions, save the configuration, swap, clone, restart, rebuild, terminate, restore, everything you can able to do this. And this is the events. Okay, so who is doing this? This is happening by the automations under this pending. Now you can see like create the environment is starting, then using the elastic beanstalk S3 storage, then SNS notification, security group. So you can see the things are going to create it. Go to this health. Here you can check the health, monitor your health. Logs. Here the logs related updates, monitoring. Monitoring will happen. So the matrices will come here. Alarms, you can set the alarms. managed update and tagging. Okay, see, the things are security group. Then now target group means your load balancer. Okay, your health, that is going to be happen. Now you can see here logs, monitoring, alarm, manage update, tag, configuration, change history. So suppose that you did some changes, that also will come here. So configuration, any point of the time you can do the changes. Configuration, see here, still it is going on. Service access, networking, database. Okay, added updates. So as if now we are doing the static. Suppose that we want to do the dynamic, then dynamic application with the database also we can connect. I will showcase you that one also as a live. Okay, now application version. So what is the version your application has, so that you can watch it here. Change history, any kind of the changes you done in your environment, that will be here, you can see. Okay, go to this application. As if now you have this, like these are the application which is running under the pending. This is your environment. Okay, so now what is happening, auto scaling also created. So if load will be high, so it will be take care, you will be get the high availability system. Cloud watch alarms, that is going to create. Okay, so it takes another 2 3 5 minutes, whatever it is. Okay, any questions you can ask here.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now you can see your environment is launched. You can see auto scaling, load balancer, instance deployment, added instance, and application available, successfully launched the environment. You can see here virajtech.com, your website is done, ready. Okay, so if you added your own code, that also will be there. It is the loading or whatever it is. So now you can see this is your domain. Okay, now see virajtech.com -job elastic beanstalk. So whatever this templates, it will come. Now you can see what are the things is created here. Now you can see the welcome page. Okay, your website is launched. Okay, if you added your own code, upload your own code, that will reflect. Okay, now what are the things is created, even though you don't know. Okay, go to the EC2. You can see one running instance. So this is your server. It's the server is created by this. Okay, then you can see here security group. Security group will be there. You can see. Then load balancer. See, you have a load balancer, network load balancer, that is. Target group. Target group will be there. Launch configuration. Okay, auto scaling group. Auto scaling group will be there. Okay, S3. So your bucket will be there. Okay, now X-ray. If you enable, then X-ray will be there. CloudWatch. So CloudWatch for monitoring purpose. So you go to the matrices, all matrices, it will come here. Elastic Beanstalk, environment matrices. See Virajitech. Okay, so here you can get, okay, those matrices. Now go to this elastic beanstalk. So basically you don't know today all these service, then also everything is created for you by the elastic beanstalk service. So you will get the like all the secure infrastructures for your environments, for your applications. So once your hands-on will be over, your practice will be over, you go here and terminate. Okay, we should not keep this because it's created lot of service. Okay, this is a cleanup activity. Give this environment name, terminate. So whatever it is created, it will delete everything. Okay, that's it for the day. Any questions, guys, you can ask.